Hey, and welcome to another episode of Between the Sheets. I'm your host, Dorothy Odell. I started this amazing show just less than 2 months ago, figuring, I love to read. I'm an author myself, but there isn't really a whole lot that I don't love to read. I mean, I have my favorites, which is romance novels, and so I've had the distinct pleasure of interviewing several amazing authors. And I don't know if you're from the Windsor, Ontario area, there is an amazing event that's coming up. April 10th to the 12th, I believe it is. So it's a Friday night, starting on a Friday night, and it is going to be fantastic. I went last year. It's called the Rose City Romance Conference, and I met some incredible authors, and I met Renee Gendron, who was one of our very first. No, she was our second author on this show, and had the pleasure of meeting her last year, and of course, read her book, Two Hearts on the Backspin. And Renee has been gracious to actually, for anybody who wants to join the book club, she has given me the go ahead to share some of her other books with people within the book club. So if you're interested in joining our Between the Sheets book club, we do meet on Thursdays, and it is gonna be fun. I mean, some people like to read by themselves, some people like to, discuss what's going on. And I really wanted, like I said, I love reading, and I really wanted to have some fun while doing it, seeing what other people's thoughts were on the same book. Um, so if you want to join us, let me know. Um, and we'd be more than happy to have you. Just go check out our website. Just go to the unstoppableovercomers.com /book launch events /between the sheets book club. Go check it all out. It's all the information's there, and we'd be happy to have you. So hopefully you can join us. So last night, I got this amazing read. If you are a veteran, we had Brandon Lawson on the other show, The Unstoppable Network, and he wrote a book, How to Survive After Service, and how to navigate the disability process, find your dream job, and thrive in the civilian life. So it's a quick read. You can find it on Amazon. So if you are a veteran, I highly encourage you to support Brandon and go get a copy and support yourself at the same time. While we're talking about all things veterans, you definitely have to get a copy of this book called Pennies from Vietnam, A Sister at Home, a Brother at War by Tracy Smith. She was on our Journey and Boots show last year. Her brother, Larry, went to Vietnam and promised that he would send her pennies home when he was stationed out in Vietnam. And she put together all Larry's letters he used to write home each week. And so she put this amazing book together. So, again, that can be found on Amazon as well. Um, but in another, I just have to go over some things here. Sorry, trying to get my Kindle up here. So I found a new author. I'm telling you, I can't put her books down. Her name is Vi Keeland. She's from New York. She's a New York Times bestselling author, and I don't know how many of her books I've actually read. Um, so Jilted is one of them. The Invitation is another. Uh, Inappropriate. I mean, the theme throughout her books is the guy is he kind of reminds me a little bit of my husband. He's cocky, uh, confident and cocky do work well together. But he like says what's on his mind, and it's absolutely incredible. Like each story is obviously different. Whether that be, working for or falling in love with your boss or something like that. I mean, I can't imagine. uh, but I mean, Vi does an amazing job with these stories, and I cannot put them down. Like I basically read one of her stories every day and a half, and it's just like they're freaking amazing. So get your hands on that. Lately, I've also read The Having by trying to read this. Uh, and of course, my internet's not working on this. Sung Young Lee. Amazing book. It's also right here. It's about manifesting your dream life, right? And so, what is it that would make your life the way you want it, right? And so, by allowing yourself to see that you could have these things and getting rid of the fear around that. It's amazing the fear that we hold on to. There's a lot of different things that we want in life, but we're afraid to go after life. And so this book really brings that home. And of course, I'm also reading The Best of Yourself with Kathleen Cameron. Sorry, I'm trying to put this here. It's this book right here. And so Kathleen, if you don't know Kathleen Cameron, you gotta know this lady. Um, this book, the best of yourself. It's like basically this woman was a registered nurse. She lives in Barrie, Ontario. She also has a house in Malibu, and which she just recently manifested and gotten. She went from being a nurse, a registered nurse in Toronto area, to make generating over $52 million in her business in the last 5 years. So, I mean, this woman studied under Bob Proctor, um, and in her book, The Best of Yourself, it just really, what did it take for her to get to where she's at in life? And so I just encourage you that if you're in a place in your life that you're like, oh, wow, I don't know how to get what I want, pick up her book, The Best of Yourself by Kathleen Cameron, right there. So those are just some of the books that I've read over the last couple weeks. So I would love to, though, if you are tuning in, I would love to know what type of book that you read, and what is one of the best books that you have written so far. Would love to hear that. As well as if you're an author, I would love to hear from you. We want different authors on here. It's not just all about romance novels, as you can tell. There's several different other books that I have mentioned tonight that of which I've read in the last couple weeks. But we are, um, I would love to hear from you. And what book would you like to read in the book club? Would love, love, love to definitely hear what your favorite book is. And we would love to have you in the book club and we could read it together. I'll put that in the chat right now. So you could go take a look. But yeah, I want to hear from you. What is your favorite book, your favorite author? And as well, I mean, I don't usually talk about this, but I'm going to. Um, I do have my own book out, The Overcomer Facing Challenges with Faith and Courage. It is a story, my life story of how I overcame bullying, low self esteem, abusive relationships, and then, of course, meeting the love of my life, whom I'm married today. So it's a story of if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing different between me and you. And I just wanted you to understand that you're never alone in your circumstances. Actually, that's probably why I got the Unstoppable Overcomer platform going. And then, of course, the second book that I wrote was the Overcomer Playbook, which just simply, the 7 steps I used to going from surviving to renewed, is in this book. Both of those can be found on Amazon, as well as I'm a co-author in bringing new words to your body conversation. There is 10 amazing authors in here just sharing our story of the conversations we would have about our body. I don't know about you, but um pretty much overweight my entire life. Grew up that way. Being bullied for your weight does not do a lot of great things for you, especially when you're growing up and didn't realize just how much it had affected me. Um, how much I held on to that about that. And it's easy for people to say, oh, well, just quit eating, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Um, and our body types and things like that, society wants us to conform to the wear of like being skinny, that's healthy. But really, as Kathleen Cameron says who, right, says who. And so we just really shared what it was, our body conversations we were having about ourselves, and how we were able to get past those conversations. And it does take something, right? And this book can also be found on Amazon as well. So go get your copy today, and guaranteed you'll love it, especially if you're one of those type of people that you've had that body conversation. So with that, though, I would love, like I said, to hear from you. What is your favorite book? What is something that you love to read? Um, and would really like to hear from any other author out there that would like to get their stories told here on our podcast. This podcast, like I said, it's only been around for a couple months. We're just really starting this. Actually, I guess it's only been a month, not even a couple months. It's only been a month. Just looking at my YouTube channel just to verify that. And it's been a journey, but I love reading. If somebody said, if you could do anything in the world, what would it be? And reading, reading, writing, and just, you know, sometimes reading is like an escape, right? Sometimes we escape, sometimes we read to educate, sometimes we read to just have fun and within the story. I think every story, whether it be fiction, nonfiction, you can absolutely learn something from each story. Everybody's like, oh, don't get into romance, they're all the same. No, that's bullshit, because it's funny, the last couple days I've been reading her, Bias book. Let me get it up on my phone here. That's the Kindle that's been working. The other one hasn't been. It was The Summer Proposal, and amazing book. I don't wanna ruin it for you, but, definitely about relationships, like what should you stand for in a relationship as a woman, and or as a man. And Georgia, was engaged to this guy, and he decides that he's gonna fly off to London and then have an open relationship after being engaged to her. So she said, okay, fine. She was gonna, since it's an open relationship, she'll go on a blind date to get herself out of the funk she was in. And Max shows up. He could see her in the window and instantly falls attraction to her. Comes in and she thinks it's her blind date. Come to find out it's not her blind date. And anyways, they end up through a series of events end up being together. But it talks a lot about the different dynamics in a relationship and communication. And he had to move out to California for his job, and he was hiding a secret. Um, and that's all I'll say about that because I don't want to ruin the story. But it was, you know, how can relationships change if you're really holding that in, right? So, anyways, I just figure I know that you can learn anything from different stories, and you just have to look at the storyline and just see what's going on within between the sheets. And so that's what I do here. Um, Doing some reviews, like I said, as we go along. Not every week. Actually, I think we're doing every other week is when we're going live every other Tuesday. And so, sometimes it's not always going to be author interviews. Sometimes it's going to be just me talking about some of the books that I've read over the last couple weeks. And of course, updating you on the book club. So we would love to have you. If you're interested in finding out more, go to our website, Unstoppable Overcomers /book launch Between the Sheets book club. And we're there. And if you have any questions, let us know. With that, I'm going to wrap things up, but I do want to hear from you. I want to hear what it is your favorite book is and why. And if you're an author, would love to have a conversation with you and have you come on the show. With that, have an amazing night. Go check us out on our YouTube channel, Between the Sheets. Subscribe, share with your friends, and the amazing interviews that are already up there. They're fun. It's funny because I got a email from Luce Sutherland saying, "Oh, I didn't realize it was up," and she was giggling like a schoolgirl while she was listening to our interview. So, Luce, I'm so glad that you were able to have that experience with your own episode. So I love that. And I can't wait for her second book to come out. And when it does, we'll have her back on the show. But with that, you know, go read a great book, share with us what your experience was. And we look forward to hearing from you.